Hello and welcome to Awaz-The Voice. This is Shaista, and today with me I have a very special guest, Tehmeena Rizvi.
Hi.
Am I right?
Yes.
Hi. Welcome to Awaz-The Voice.
Thank you.
So, would you like to introduce yourself, or should I do the honors?
Hello everyone. I'm Tehmeena Rizvi. I am a public policy professional and a research scholar. Basically, I'm pursuing my PhD from Bennett University.
She is basically a dreamer. She has many ideas, and she is somebody who is not scared to say out loud what comes to her mind, what comes to her heart. So, Tehmeena, today we will be talking about the inheritance rights that too in our society, in our community. So, I've heard people saying that it's 1/3 that is being allotted to the women, that is being allotted to the girls. So what are your thoughts about it? I'm so sorry. What are your thoughts about it? What is your way of looking towards it?
So first of all, there are different thoughts in my mind. I might come up as a radical too. That's who I am. But when we talk about inheritance laws, the rules which have been laid out are different than what we do in practice. Basically, Islam has mentioned that 1/3 of the inheritance goes to the woman of the house, the daughter. But practices tell us otherwise. You can see examples where educated families or families of different thought might consider giving equal share to their kids, and somehow some families don't even bother to give that 1/3 also. There have been cases. And also you might also have witnessed around you that women somehow are emotionally
Weak.
pressurized and told that if you take this 1/3 share of your property from your parents, you might lose the right over your Maika, the house, parents' house,
maternal house.
So the woman, that validation we were talking about, the validation, it's very important for them to have validation from parents, to think of what my brother and what my parents think of me, and to also think that if I take the money, which is basically her right, it might leave me with nothing emotionally. So to preserve the emotional thing of the family, she gives away the inheritance, which basically tells us that emotions have a cost. Because
nothing is selfless, everything comes with a bargain. A bargain matter is always there. But today the times have changed. You are a working woman, I am a working woman, and all my friends, Muslim friends I would say per se, they're working, and they are taking care of their parents. In fact, in not so close relation of mine, but somewhere mummy ka family, somewhere the parents are living with the girl, because they had 6 daughters, they married them all, they had no sons, so obviously they are living with their daughter. So what now? What about their property now? Still, will it be 1/3, or is it what do you think?
I think things like this should be open for debate. I think also things like this definitely need a social reform, and we should not be very rigid about change, because everybody does believe in this phenomenon of change is the only constant. So with the evolving society we have, and with the different roles woman is practicing in her daily life, we definitely need to change what has been laid down previously. In this process, I think we might need help of people from legal backgrounds, ulamas, definitely, women who have personally experienced all of this, who have been not given the inheritance right, or who have been snatched of their rights. So all of this would help to change it for better. Because when we look down the life, like when we look down for the future, what are we laying down for our daughters? We have to change it for them at least.
The coming generation should not face what you and I went
our
through.
Mothers lived a different life.
A different generation, I would say, a different era.
They didn't even sit and think about it. that how is it affecting us?
Yeah.
What it might bring to our kids. Maybe that somehow that part of inheritance would have been useful for her daughter's education.
Exactly.
Maybe somehow that would have been a help for her dream of some enterprising something.
Yeah, exactly.
Creating an organization, creating a boutique, creating a fashion, anything.
Yeah.
She ripped herself off of those dreams.
Yeah.
They didn't even understood it, but we are understanding it. So we need to change it for our daughters.
Exactly. So recently I came across this article where this couple from Kerala, they got remarried after 28 years just because they wanted to give their wealth, their property to their 3 daughters, 3 or 4 daughters I think, and they were being flagged from the society, flaked from the society. I'm so sorry. They were like reprimanded, like anything. Fatwa was like being carried out against them, saying that how can you do that? Because they got remarried under the Special Marriage Act. But what the father says is that he had 3 near fatal accidents in which he was about to die, and he was like thinking that if he was dead, the property would have gone to his brothers, his hard-earned money. Both, the couple, they built their hardcore money. So now they want their daughters to what they have. Like we are talking about that we should do something for our daughters. So that is why. So what do you think about it? Like, I mean, what do you say? What do you think about the couple from Kerala, I would say?
When you say this, my only problem is that in this century, an elderly couple is put through the system to revisit their choices.
Yeah.
And also rethink about their decisions so that they can leave something for their kids. I believe in this modern generation, nobody should be put through this. At least we should have systems laid down which are comfortable for humans. Because ultimately every law, whether it's religious or whether it's legal by constitution or anything, has to be comfortable to humans. That's what they were created for. But if in case a human is not comfortable with the law and they have to revisit the decisions, it is very, uncomfortable for me personally.
Yeah.
I might not like to revisit my decision of some 20 years to think of what I'm leaving for my kids because my legality pushed me through that.
Yeah. I mean, you are thinking twice, thrice, I would say, making a decision as to whether what to leave for your own kith and kin. And maybe you want your daughters to have your money, your hard-earned money, and not some other person, not your brothers per se. It is often said that India has given a choice of personal law. Otherwise, the countries like Canada and USA, they do not have. They have this uniform civil code for everybody. And in India also, we are progressing towards it, where we are talking about that UCC would be applied. Do you think that it is a good step? Do you think that people, the ulemas, the thinkers, the think tanks, the law people should come together, make a bigger or larger think tank, and they should think about it, that women are not so docile anymore. They are empowered. They have a mind, they have a subconscious, they have a tongue, they have a mouth, and they are not just showpieces that can be kept inside the houses, and they just can be labeled that you are going to take care of the family, so we are not going to give you anything, since you are going to get it from your husband anyway, so the man, quote within quote, is more responsible to
deal with financial matters
per se. So what are your thoughts about it?
I think Uniform Civil Code UCC definitely is needed for equality and equity. But tell me one thing, how many people will be ready for that?
I have no answer to that.
And how many people love the idea of docile woman? A woman who is very giving, a woman who is very empathetic. She should not think of herself, and her family should be the first. We love the idea of that woman. In fact, we hate the idea of a woman who thinks only for herself, who makes choices which might bother other people, who is outspoken. How hard it is for this society to label a woman difficult. Every one of us has one time been labeled as that. So when we talk about UCC, I think people might not be ready yet. See, personally, I would say that I am ready. Some 4 or 5 people around me might be ready. But I'm not very sure of the people who are there sitting in the organizations, the stakeholders, we
like
call
you're
them.
Talking about, exactly.
They might not be ready because they come from a generation where we were talking about our parent generation.
Yeah.
India is a young country, but still ruled by old people.
Yeah.
So they are the same people that is our parents' generation.
Yeah.
They might not be very upfront about UCC.
Yeah, very open about accepting a change.
So I think a change might be initiated, but can be implemented when we are going through that. You know, the age, the system.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
They can definitely bring in some policy changes, but our generation definitely needs it. Because we are somebody, we don't care about biases, religion, and like you and me sitting here. Do we care who is Hindu, who is Muslim?
Yeah, we do not. Exactly.
We see each other as humans.
Exactly.
As long as you don't have an extra nose.
Exactly.
It might not matter for me.
Even if you have, maybe that can be trimmed and you can be corrected. There is a solution for it. Why to label somebody who has a shortcoming as his only shortcoming and make that person feel uncomfortable in a society? As it is, we are doing a lot.
And I personally believe that that's who I am. Again, I would say people might differ. We should never wear our religion on our sleeve.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the harm in identifying as a pan-India citizen?
What is the harm in being called an Indian first?
Indian first.
Rather than labeling
a
yourself.
Muslim, a Hindu, a Jain, Christian,
for that matter,
Parsi.
A man or a woman, in fact.
Anybody.
Why not be an Indian?
Why not be an Indian?
And then you can have...
Why not be a responsible citizen? Why not be somebody whom we cannot identify from face? ये तो मुस्लिम होगा, ये तो हिंदू होगा, ये टीका कर रहा है, ये हिंदू है, ये कमीज शलवार पहन रहा है, मूंछ है, दाढ़ी है, ये मुस्लिम है.
Exactly.
Why to do that? We have examples of people, ladies using bindis and sarees who are Muslim.
Yeah, exactly.
We have examples of men having long beard who are Hindus.
Beard is a fashion nowadays.
It's a fashion, but I am saying, why to label somebody by beard, by bindi, by tika or anything? Why to even identify with that? Why would I try to go outside the house to tell people who I am by religion or something?
Again, people who do it, since I have many friends who carry their religion on their sleeves and they are proud of it. Like you and I are proud of being who we are. We would rather be called a human first rather than a Muslim or a woman for that matter. We are Indians and then we are humans. Treat us like an equal and do not, disparage us from following our dreams or following our hearts for that matter. So I agree with you, but then I think that people who have that choice, let them have it. It is their choice.
It's fine.
Yeah, let's not label them.
No, also, my only point was that let's not discriminate on that point.
On that point,
it should not be the point of discrimination. Otherwise, choice is also always welcome.
Always welcome.
Free will we have in this world.
Yeah. So UCC is a long call as per our discussion right now, and it's a long journey. But our generation would be more open to it. I think yes. Yeah, we'll be more accepting towards it. We'll be more exploring the ideas around
because
it.
kahin na kahin, I believe we have already very uniform in our behavior somehow. Because it doesn't matter right now who's a Hindu, who's a Muslim or something. When you go into colleges, when you go into universities, every student is a student. Every student has a similar behavior of wearing some certain clothes, socializing with some certain group of certain people. So हम कहीं ना कहीं एक level पे uniform ही है. So if you bring that thing in, it might not affect us as such कि हमें लगेगा कुछ अलग हो गया.
I'll take that as the concluding note. I'm sure that we have a lot of talk around it. We can talk a lot about it. The topic is so huge, so vast. But today, so we had a small talk about inheritance, the rights of women on in Islam about inheritance, but that is a long call. We even discussed UCC, the Uniform Civil Code, and whether it should be implemented or not. And like we discussed, it is a long call. It is yet to be made, and maybe our generation would be more open to it. But we are leaving it open-ended for you viewers. That what do you think about it? Do you think that it should be implemented? Obviously, you may have your own views, but we believe that we are one. Like Tehmeena also mentioned, treat us like one, treat us like equal, and that is it. So this is Shaista signing off for now from Awaz-The Voice, but I'll meet you on your screen sometime soon again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tehmeena. Thank you for being
so
here.
much.
Thank you.